numbers out of the US recently, a group that keeps an eye on attacks on churches, and of course we've heard in this country about attacks on synagogues. But in the US, this mob hostility against churches, is the report that they have put out, has found there have been, in 1 year alone, in 2024, 284 cases of vandalism against churches, 55 cases of arson, 28 gun-related incidents, 14 bomb threats, and 47 assault threats or disruptions. And again, you know, you don't generally think of Christianity as a religion in the US in particular that would be coming under attack in this form. And this is a significant increase on a couple of years ago, you know, double what it was in 2022 or some such. So the numbers are going up. But again, no one talks about it because it's not fashionable to talk about attacks against Christianity. And you know, if you want to talk about Islamophobia, a lot of people want to talk about Islamophobia and how terrible that is, whatever Islamophobia actually is. I don't believe it's a real thing, but that's another matter. You should equally care about this as well. You can't just pick and choose the religions you're getting upset about being attacked.
The Trump administration in February put out a paper titled Eradicating Anti-Christian Bias, because they were concerned that under the Biden administration, a couple of dozen Christians, some in their 80s, had been arrested for the crime of praying outside abortion clinics. Do you remember the FBI started referring to Catholic people as radical traditionalists, and they were planting agents in Catholic services to hear anything that might be alarming? And then, of course, the Biden administration started stripping protections from Christian individuals and organisations in particular who didn't align themselves with particular LGBTQ kind of policies. So there's been a growing resentment towards Christianity in the United States. The Trump administration would argue that's been led by the Biden administration, and now the White House starting to push back. But these are alarming figures. Of course, you compare it with what's happening in Nigeria, where people are being shot to death, machete attacks. And so I wonder if sometimes Christians in America almost feel like it's not worth complaining because compared to other nations, America is a wonderful place to be a Christian, and yet we shouldn't ignore the growing antipathy towards the Christian faith.
And the question is as well is how are society's institutions responding to these attacks? Are the police taking them seriously? Are they actually being investigated? And the reality is that left-wing authoritarian governments, what is the first thing they always try to shut down? Religion, the church, because that forms opposition to the state. And so you actually need a strong functioning church to act as a bulwark against state overreach. But that is why, as well, Christians and the church can be so threatening to radical leftists who want to gain power in society.